podcast. Okay, guys, today's segment is what would Jazzy do and just questions for me because it's been a little while since we've done something like this. But first, let's get into our intro. What do I have going on this week? I have had a really busy week. I haven't announced it officially, but I have started running. I told you guys, I told my YouTube fam that this year, a goal of mine is to run a half marathon. I've been wanting to run a half marathon. I told you guys last year I was like, I'm gonna do like more 5Ks, and I never really did much. I think I did like one 5K and that was it. And I didn't really commit. So to this, I really do want to commit. I feel like running is a really big part of my life. I love running. It's been a really big part of my preps in the past. And so I've officially started running some. It hasn't gotten anything crazy, like 2 miles, 3 miles here and there. Last week I ran like 3 times a week. Last week, this week I'm aiming for 5 times a week. So yeah, and I hired Chris's brother, Brandon, as my coach. So he ran cross country in high school, and he also coaches now and coached high school students. So Brandon didn't run in college, right? In college he didn't run, but yeah, so he's taken some courses and things like that. So he's gonna be helping me out. If you guys want his information, you guys can DM me. But he's gonna be helping me out for my runs and things like that, and what we're aiming towards. I'm not trying to win by no means. I'm not trying to come in first place. Like, I'm not doing this competitively. I say that, but I'm still going to push myself as much as I can. But I'm not doing it competitively in the sense of like I'm trying to compete against people who actually like run half marathons and marathons for a living, like, or like full time. Like, that's not, this is my first one. So I'm going in there with like no expectation. I'm just doing my best, right? As long as I can finish the finish line without holding on to my side, because I finished in high school that way, and Chris's family will not let me live that fucking down to this day. As long as I can finish the finish line like good, and being able to like breathe and not like in tears at the end, from pain, not from happy tears, then I'll be a winner already. So yeah, guys, I started doing that. I've had a busy week in the sense that like we have a dark sport event this upcoming weekend, Saturday, which is like the Coachella event, which is not really in Coachella, but it's in Coachella Valley. It's the Memento Mori event. And originally I wanted to go, and then some stuff wasn't working out. So I was like, okay, we're not going to go. And then last week, Joyce, I love you, Joyce, if you're listening to this, she was like, no, you're coming. Let me see what I can do. And she's a freaking magician when it comes to all this. So she like booked my trip, and so I'm going. So I've had to like put outfits together for that. I have I'm going to the color event, like color party, whatever it's called, neon color party. Ghost is sponsoring that night. And so I've had to get an outfit for that. And then the Friday before we leave, we have the Raul Alejandro concert. So I was trying to piece together an outfit for that. And everything is so specific. And if you guys know me, like I don't like to wear what everyone else wears. I like to just be different. I like to put shit together. And it's been these last 2 weeks trying to find outfits for me were like the most stressful weeks. I couldn't find anything. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Pretty Little Thing. I ordered like 10 pants, 10 black like latexy pants, and none of them fit correctly. None of them. They were either too big or too tight in the glutes, but too big in the waist, and they were just not for my body right now. My body is like really in a weird stage right now where my glutes are a really good size, and then my waist is pretty significantly smaller than my weight, my hips. So nothing fits correctly. I have to either size a whole size up now, and everything looks baggy from the front, but it barely fits me from my ass. So it's just like I'm in a weird funk right now. But I put together an outfit. So hopefully, I'm still waiting on a few pieces. Hopefully it all looks put together. So now it's just figuring out what I'm gonna do with my makeup, if I'm gonna do anything different. Being a girl sometimes is complicated. Being the type of girl I am sometimes is complicated, but I'm excited. It's when I've never been to Coachella, so I didn't know what to expect or what to put together. Usually I'll just get a nice dress, heels, layer shit up, and then I'm good to go. But this was like all about being unique, and like I'm also not a very bright colored girl, and I don't like rhinestone shit. So like I wasn't trying to go for that vibe either. And I wasn't trying to go in like a bikini and look, not that being in a bikini makes you look, slutty-ish, but sometimes for me, like, I just feel like because of, you guys know, if you have a nice body and you're wearing something, sometimes I'm like, damn, she look like a slut. So I prefer to be a little bit covered up if I can be a little bit covered up. So yeah, it was just hard trying to find pieces together for that. But I'm excited. Today's Wednesday. I'm recording this on Wednesday. Tomorrow I have my hair appointment, getting my grays touched up because these babies grow so fast, and then just having to run a few errands, and then I'll be done for the day. I can pack, and you guys know me, I'm a Virgo. I got to pack ahead of time or I just I cannot do anything. I do not function when I travel. I like the few days before I travel, don't ask me out. Don't ask me to go meet you anywhere because my ass is at home, packing, cleaning. I get like severe like OCD with everything. I don't like to do anything but pack and like have everything ready and settled. Chris, on the other hand, starts to pack at 10:30 at night and decides that 10:30 at night is the best time to fold laundry. Like, no. So he knows me a little bit. He still tests my button and pushes my buttons a little bit sometimes, but I know I'm not the only one that struggles with this. But anyways, guys, let me get a sip of water and then we'll start into the what would Jazzy do segment and some questions. Okay. Here we go. First, I love you. Thank you. I have her name here. But actually I'm not going to share it because I don't know if she wants me to share it. But she said, first, I love you. Thank you. Second, I recently moved out of state with my boyfriend of 2 years because of his job. I'm currently unemployed, and because of the move, I depend on him financially. He has never said that it was an issue, but how do I deal with the power dynamic? Also, there is a 26-year age gap. Well, I didn't read that last part. That's a really big age gap. I feel like because of that gap too, I'm not trying to say he can support you, but I would think that he can support you. I think, this is a new phase in your life. And although it may suck that you don't have a job yet, I think that, you don't just provide value by working, right? There's other things that you provide value with. So maybe right now your purpose is to make you guys a home. So creating a space for you guys to call a home. And maybe when he gets home from work, you have his meal ready and you have the house cleaned. And right now, maybe your season in life is being a homemaker instead of actually having a job. But I would say that I would try to find something that interests you that you could do on the side. Because it is hard, feeling like you're depending on someone financially. I can't imagine. I've never had to do that. I can't imagine feeling like I have to depend on someone financially. Like, can I go get my nails done? Are we okay to do this? It's hard. I can't imagine being in that position. So if you could find something that you like and could do like on the side, or maybe find like a part-time job somewhere, that you could bring a little bit of income just so that you don't feel the pressure of, I have to ask him for money for like the small things, like, the girl things that we want to take care of, our makeup, our nails, our hair, clothes, things like that. If he's not making a big deal about providing in the essence of helping with the mortgage and bills and stuff, then maybe just finding yourself a part-time job that you enjoy and, like I said, can take care of your things. But I think every chapter in our life is a season, right? Right now, the season is maybe for you to become a homemaker. And, maybe it's something that you can sit down and talk to him about if you're feeling some type of way, because I think the more you hold it in, and if you do feel some type of way, you can start kind of feeling resentment towards that person, even though you don't want to, feeling resentment and guilt towards yourself because you feel like you're not doing enough. So maybe having an open and honest conversation about what you're going through and what you're feeling could be a really big first step into the right direction. So don't feel bad though, girl. You just moved. Don't allow yourself to feel all this pressure. Like I said, just having that conversation, I'm sure, will just alleviate a lot off your shoulder. All right. Boyfriend is following new girls on Instagram, knowing I don't like that. How to deal with that? Crickets. Insert crickets now. That's like a bed. This one is so hard. I'm sure, every single one of us has dealt with this at one point or another about what our significant others follow, what our significant others see. And there's such a big issue of not even morality here, but it's like everyone's going to have their own issue and everyone's going to have their own take on this. Sometimes I'll be scrolling on TikTok and you'll see the girls who are like, I told my man to stop following girls and he did the second I told him, and he supports me and he loves me. And if he truly, really loves you, he'll stop unfollowing everyone, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? Like that's what she put her foot down and she said, you better stop following these girls or you out of the house, right? That may work for them, but I don't think that's the case for everyone. And do I think that that person doesn't love you if he's following other women? No. Please do not take, because it's so easy to look on social media and be like, well, so-and-so's girlfriend, like, look at this girl. She asked her boyfriend not to follow girls, and he loves her so much that he stopped following them. But that doesn't mean that your significant other doesn't love you because he's following other women. I think that with that topic, it's such a heavy topic. Like everyone, like I said, everyone's going to have their own opinion, but I think it's so important to discuss that with your significant other, to establish boundaries with your significant other. I actually just established a boundary with my husband, and I was like, listen, and it's always like, if for me, this is personal. For me, I always tend to have more of an issue when I'm going through something or when I'm not feeling confident in myself. Because when I'm feeling confident, like 100% confident in myself, I don't know a bug who he follows, what he likes. Well, what he likes, I do care. But what he follows, what he sees, like, because I know he's going to see it. I know there's beautiful women in the world, and I don't ever want to be the person to be like, I don't want you to look at that. Like, that's just so unfair. And that's so fake. Like, it's so fake to ask your significant other not to look and not to think other women are beautiful. Like you are going to be living in a lie if you ask your significant other that. Like, it's just not true. But I do think that there should be boundaries in the sense of what you think is okay in your relationship. Maybe, for us, I don't like, I've talked about this before. I don't like, for him to follow local women, like, because for me, it's like, why are you invested in their life? Models, beautiful women, whatever, follow whoever you want. If you want to, see girls in their photo shoots and things like that, I get it. Follow them. But for me, it's like, I don't want you following the girl from the gym. I've talked about this several times, because for me, it's like you're invested in their life, in their personal life, and it's more of a local thing, so they know who we are type of situation. But another thing I did ask of him recently was like, listen, follow whoever you want, but before you like something, please think about how it's going to affect me. Please think about how it's going to make others think of you and make others think about me and others think about our relationship. And I hate to say that because, I do live a life where it's like 90% of the time I don't care what other people think. But if my husband is out here liking on Instagram, and I say on Instagram, right? A girl who's bent down facing doggy and like in a string thong. Like, how do you think that's going to make me feel, right? How do you think people are going to react to seeing that? If they see Chris P liked this photo, right? They're going to be like, damn, bro, you savage. Okay. You liking this shit. Why are you looking at me like you're looking at me all judgy? Why are you liking this photo, right? Like, and it's like, my biggest thing in anything that we've ever talked about is like, just think about how it's going to affect me. Think about, like the respect you have towards me. And I just don't want people to think you don't have respect for our relationship. So look at what you want, follow whoever you want, but just be cautious of what you're liking and how it's going to affect us. Like I said, this is what works for my relationship. Everyone has their boundaries in their own relationship. And maybe your boundary is that, like, you don't want your significant other liking photos. Well, maybe you got to tell them that. And I don't know how that person's going to react. I really don't. It's really hard to tell, but I do not think, please don't be one of those women who is like, well, if he doesn't love you and if he loves you and respects you, he'll stop. Because I just don't think, I personally don't think that's true. I don't think that because your significant other is liking a model from California's photo because she looks pretty does not mean he loves you any less. I think, you got to take a better look at yourself and ask yourself, why am I feeling threatened? Like, why am I feeling insecure? Like, but I think it all comes down to the purpose of each photo. Like I said, if it's a photo of a girl facing downward doggy and like opening up her legs, then yeah, it's fucking disrespectful. I get that. But it's just in this society that we live in now with social media, it is so hard to hide things. It is so hard to ask your significant other not to look at things and things like that, because it's going to be there no matter what you do. You can't control that unless you put a parental thing on your significant other's page. I just think that it's really highly important if you're in a relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, to talk about this and to set a boundary that you both are okay with, right? And one person's going to have to give in a little. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Okay, next question. Do you feel like you have to keep up with the way your husband looks physically? No, I don't. Chris always looks great. Like, I feel like our friends talk about all the time. He just always looks like he's in shape, even though he's the one that does the least amount of cardio out of all of us. He doesn't like even get probably like close to 4,000 steps a day. But I think in the past I was like, oh my God, he looks great. I got to keep up with it. But now I don't feel like I have to keep up with him. I feel like I just like to keep up with myself. Like, I feel like I want to look good for myself. I want to look good for my husband. Like, I want to feel good, and that's taking care of my health. And I would never want to be put in a position where I'd feel less than because of my weight or because I look thicker. And I just know that our relationship is all about taking care of ourselves and living a healthy lifestyle. And it's not necessarily like, if I'm thicker, but I'm still working out and I'm eating healthy, then I'm just thicker at this moment. Like right now, I'm in a different phase. Right now, I'm thicker. I'm not rocking any abs right now. And my husband doesn't love me any less. I don't think I'm any less than him because he's more leaner than me. I just think right now I'm in a different phase, but I still, like the way that I look. I look curvier. I look more womanly right now, and it's a phase. Now, if I was a lot thicker and if I felt like I was overweight, then yeah, I could feel like a weird dynamic, like, oh, he looks a lot better, and I'm like not proud of the way that I'm looking. But it's not because I feel like there's any pressure coming from him. It's more of like, if my husband looks good, I want to be standing next to him and I look good and I want to feel good as well. So yeah, I've seen a lot of couples though that their significant others are like shredded and the women are not. And sometimes men, even though they're shredded, they don't want a shredded female. They don't want someone who's super skinny. Like, I think it all just comes down to like what your partner wants, or what it comes down to what you want, right? And just because if you want to look a certain way, doesn't mean like that you can't look a certain way if your husband is shredded or whatever. Like, now going into this new phase, Chris is probably going to compete next year. He's going to get lean. He's going to get shredded, but I'm not trying to compete. I'm not trying to look lean and shredded. Like, I have my own goals. He has his own goals, but I will say it comes back to like, we both like feeling our best. So if he's feeling his best and I'm not feeling my best, then it tends to like kind of put a strain in our relationship, because then I'm not fully present. I'm not fully happy with myself. So I just have to take a look at myself and ask myself, am I happy right now? And if I'm not happy, then I have to make some changes for that. All right. If there's one negative thing that you could change about gym culture, what is it and why? Thankfully with my gym, the gym that I go to, which you guys know is Athletic Empire, we're like a really big family there. Everyone gets along with everyone. Everyone's super friendly with everyone. I think I'm probably like the only one that really carries my camera and records myself doing exercises, but I make sure everyone knows that they can walk in front of it. I don't care. Like, I don't, carry myself like, oh my God, don't, cross in front of my video. So thankfully I go to a really good gym that creates like a family dynamic. But I know when it comes to gym culture right now, everyone is recording everything, and it gets really hard to go to a gym when everyone is recording themselves all the time. Um, I'm guilty. This is why it's really hard. This question's kind of hard because I did think about it before. Like I record content for you guys, right? I want you guys to see my workouts, obviously to promote my training so that you guys can see, hey, she's not just an online trainer who doesn't work out, right? So I promote my training and to show you guys my workouts because you guys like it, but I don't do it every day, right? And so I give like myself some breaks, but there are people who are in there recording content every day in gyms, and it can be, I hate to use the word, but it can be really obnoxious. Especially like, I'm guilty. I don't train at Alpha Land as much because everyone is out with their cameras, and most of them, I will say 80% of them are fucking like, I'm sorry, but they're like guys who are like douchey, and then like you get in front of their video and they get a fucking attitude, and sometimes you'll ask like, hey, are you using this machine? I'll be like, yeah, I'm using that machine, and they just like, it's not like a friendly environment. I feel like everyone is trying to like, it's a fucking cock match, like who can like put out their chest the biggest, and who has the biggest muscles, or who looks the most shredded. And it's like, you go to the gym and it feels like everyone's in competition with everyone. And that's the one thing that if I wish I could change, I would change that. It is something that I actually did bring up to Christian's attention, because I was like, I don't come here to train every day because I don't record every day. There's days where I just want to come in and train, and I feel like I'm in every single person's video, and there's cameras everywhere. And I know that you have inspired people to record, and I think it's a great thing. So I hate to complain about it because I know people are sharing their stories and they're sharing their lives, but it also becomes an obnoxious thing when people, I guess, abuse it, or when people themselves have a shitty character. I've heard of horrible situations where people will be recording at the gym, making fun of other people who are maybe thicker or in their beginning of their journey. Like, that is not acceptable. And it's disgusting to me. It's gross. And I will say, honestly, like, it's mostly men. Men now at the gym think they're fucking like gods and should be praised, and wearing fucking sunglasses while they're fucking deadlifting. It's just gotten to a point where it's just, things are too extreme. Like, it's just, everything's for show, and it's no longer, I'm here to work out, I'm here to train. And if I could change one thing, it would be that. I think limiting maybe the videography. I don't know what we would need to do to change that. But I record my content. You guys see me. If you go to my fucking Instagram, literally last week, you'll see me like pushing 3 plates on hack squat. Like, I'm there to fucking work. Recording is just a bonus, right? I'm not there to show off. I'm not there to do anything but put my head down and get to work, and I record it. I don't, some videos I like cute, some videos like that video I look fucking, I'm pushing, I'm struggling, right? I enjoy working out. I got into the gym because it was something I loved, and I record my process in it to share it with you guys. But nowadays it seems like people are just there to obviously get the followers and obviously put this persona that they're so cool. And I'm going to say this, you guys. I want to say 70 to 80% of these people that you see on social media that work out, right? Literally 70% of them do not take good care of themselves, do not eat healthy, are constantly going out and drinking, are constantly partying. They do not care about their cardiovascular health. They do not care about their health at all, like at all. And they're just genetically blessed to where they look a certain way, so they can say like, oh guys, yeah, I'm like training really hard, and this is what comes from training. But to be honest, they're genetically blessed because outside of the gym, they're not doing anything healthy for themselves. So I just want to say, like, if I could change one thing, it would be that. Like, I'm just really grateful for my gym family. Everyone respects each other. We all, if we see someone recording because they're going to make a big lift, everyone kind of like stands still and we cheer that person on. Like, it's a very friendly dynamic. And like I said, I make sure I make everyone aware, like, feel free. My camera's there, but feel free to go in front of it. Cause sometimes I'm just hitting record because I'm not even paying attention to the camera because like I said, I'm so focused into my workout. So, yeah, it's a tricky subject right now because of social media, but I think we as a generation and all should work on that and just like overall be kinder. Like I said, I thankfully have not experienced that in my gym, but it, people just need to learn how to be kinder and friendlier because it is hard as a newbie to the gym to come to the gym and not feel intimidated when that's all you see, right? I can't, it sucks. I would hate to be getting into the gym now by myself. Like that would be scary. And I get where you guys are coming from. Some of you guys, I have some clients who are like, I'm making an effort like this month to go to the gym. Not at 4 a.m. because I go at 4 a.m. because it's dead because I'm so nervous to go when there's people. And I don't blame them because look at the situations. Thankfully, I don't think all gyms are like that, but I do push my clients to get out of their comfort zone and go and, go when it's a little bit busier because I do like a busy gym. I'm not saying I don't like a busy gym. I love it because when everyone's there to work out and grind it, the energy is just like an all-time high. I'm saying I think everyone just needs to remember when they first started and make the gym a little bit more welcoming to those people who are just now starting because it's scary. It's scary if you're just now getting into the gym. Okay. What would Jazzy do if you show up for a date you met online and it's a total catfish situation? Do you stay or get the fuck out ASAP? Oh man, that's a tough one. Because I feel like I'm a horrible liar. I feel like I would be one of those people that has like my friend knows that I'm there. And then I feel like I'd be like in 10 minutes, like at 7:15, call me. Just call me and I'll answer. I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry, I got to take this call. And if it's a good date, then I'll just be like, I'm good. But if it's a bad day, I'm like, I would pull that move like, oh my God, my friend is in trouble. She's like, she needs some help. I need to go save her. If it was a total, I feel like I'm the type of person that, babe, do you think that I would do this? Like if I'm the type of person that if I really got catfish, like a total different person came, I'd probably be like, hell nah. Like I would say something to them. Do you think I would? No? I feel like I would. I'd be like, no. Like, this is not who you said you were. I feel like I don't know. I think I would do that, but such a scary situation. But I would get out of there fast, like because if they're already lying about the way they look, they're lying about all sorts of stuff. I can't even imagine how people are getting catfish nowadays. Like, do you think these people are never gonna find out what you look like? Like, just be honest. And if they like you for who you are, then they like you. And if they don't, then they don't. But like, I just can't imagine you're gonna have to meet this person sometime, right? Like, you're gonna have to meet this person sometime. Might as well like. I feel like might as well know my like insecurities right away. Like, this is what I look like. This is how I sound. This is what I act. If you like it, cool. Let's move on. If you don't like it, then on to the next one, right? At least that's the way I think. Okay, how do you want to be remembered? This was such a like good question, and it's like a deep question. I feel like for me recently, like if you get a chance to meet me, like if I was to die tomorrow, like I feel like I would hope that my friends are, remember me being someone who like was there for them, someone who was always kind to them, who did my best for them, someone they could rely on, someone who was a hard worker. I want to be remembered by someone who was always doing their best. And I think that that's the way that I would be remembered. Like, if you guys know me, no matter what phase I'm in my life, I give my life my all. Like, I truly, truly want to be a better person every day. I want to be better than the person I was yesterday. I want to be better than the person I was last year. And I think it's such a blessing to be that way, because I take a look back at my life when I was 22, 23, and every year there's been so much growth. And sometimes you think you're like, how am I going to make such big changes? And it's not about the big change. It's about making those small changes every day that you look back and you're like, wow, that made the biggest change. Like, I am like, it's crazy. I will be 29 this year in September. And I'm just like so different than I was when I was 24, than I was 25, and then I was 8. Like, it's just so crazy. And every year I change. And I was literally just telling Chris this, like, I feel like there's like so many seasons in your life, and every season is different, and every he called it a chapter, I called it a season. It's meant to teach you something. It's meant to make you grow. Hopefully it's meant to make you grow, right? Hopefully you will learn something from the season you're going through. Live your life to like, I feel like if you're not living your life questioning what you're doing and like really asking yourself why you're doing certain things, and you're never going to grow, you're never going to reach your full potential. And for me, I want to be remembered by someone who is always like working on themselves and like wanted to be the best version for herself and for others. And then I also want to be remembered as someone, now that I have the podcast, as a female role model to those who, to women who feel like, maybe they're not there yet fully, and who haven't embraced their sexuality and their confidence fully. I've been like thinking a lot about my sexuality recently. There's like a document came out with, what was the actress's name, babe? Remember? The actress's name, the documentary that came out? Brooke Shields came out with a documentary, and I want to watch it because it talks about like how she was sexualized as a young child. And I want to be remembered as someone who inspired you to embrace your sexuality, especially as a Latina. We're taught at a young age to hide ourselves, to be embarrassed of our bodies because men are going to look at us, and it's a shameful thing. And it's really sad. And I want to be someone who makes you change the way that you were brought up, and your way of thinking, because no matter what we do as women, we will never, and this is my opinion, but we will never be able to change the way men look at us. We are always going to be sexualized. It's human nature. It's men's nature. Like, men are thinking about sex all day, every day. There's no way of stopping. There's no way of stopping them unless we came out with a pill that they would have to take every day. I don't even know. But I think we'll always be sexualized. Sometimes you could be wearing the loosest clothes and you're still going to be sexualized. But I think that there's so much strength in owning that power and owning your body and owning like your sexuality. There's so much power in that because you now take control. You don't let the man dictate how you feel. You feel good because you feel good. And for a long time when I was growing up, I was like always told to hide my body, to hide myself. I thankfully wasn't put in a situation where I was always surrounded by men at a young age. But, the older I got, and, when I started working as a waitress, because I started working as a waitress at a young age, we would serve guys who would come in and they would drink and they would say things, right? So I know I was being sexualized at like as a teenager. But I think at that point, I didn't really know much and I just kind of let it slide. But now as an adult, like, I feel like I've taken control of the situation. And I know like some of you obviously know about my OnlyFans, and most of you know about my OnlyFans. Some of you may agree with what I do. Some of you may not agree with what I do, but you guys still support me. But, OnlyFans is a whole different subject. But I just love that I embrace my sexuality. I love that, I love the way that I look, and I have the power. I hold the power, and you're not going to make me feel some sort of way because of the way that you feel, right? I'm going to feel the type of way that I want to feel because it's what I want to feel. So I want to be remembered as someone who releases or helps you release that fear of being a sexy and confident woman because of what society's going to say, because of what men are going to think, because of what your mom's going to think or your dad's going to think. I want you to embrace your sexuality because it's what you want to do. And so, that is one of the reasons I started this podcast. We've dived into so many different topics throughout the year and a half that I've been doing this. But one of the main goals was that, because so many of us are just so scared to embrace who we are and so scared to come and shine through or wear what we want to wear because of what society's going to say, or mostly because what our parents are going to say or whatever. I think there's a time and place for everything, right? I think, I'm not going to wear a thong bikini in front of my dad at a pool, right? But like I said, there's a time and place for everything. But if I want to wear a thong bikini at a pool, I'm going to wear a thong bikini at a pool, So I think that's another way I want to be remembered. But just someone who made you feel good when you were around them and who motivated you and inspired you to be the best version of yourself. All right, let's see. We're almost done, guys. What's a good age to get married at? I don't think there's a right answer for that. I got married at a really young age. I don't have any regrets. Obviously, like now that I look back on it, do I wish that I would have had more experience? Yes, I do. I wish I would have not, and I don't mean that as like in a sexual way. I just mean as like as an individual. I wish that I would have had more experience. I wish I would have been able to have experiences so that I knew what I like I could trust myself more with decisions, because I feel like sometimes because I didn't get have the opportunity to say yes or to say no to certain things, it's been harder to trust myself. But I don't think there's a certain age. I don't think that when you know, you know. I just think that if you fully feel like you've experienced what you want to experience and you feel like you've met the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, that even through the hard times that you can still see yourself with that person, then that's your person. And I think another thing too, even if you want kids or you don't want kids, look at people who have kids around them and ask yourself, with the person that you're with, like, is this a person that I would want to have kids with? Is this a person that's going to help me if I have kids? Is this a person who's going to be by my side and support me through all the issues that I'm going to have come up with kids or with career change or whatever? You got to ask yourself those really hard questions, because it's not just about being in love. It's about, does this person support you? Is this person going to be by your side and help you through those hard times? Because that's the person that you want at your side. So I don't think there's a specific age. I think just making sure you ask those hard questions and you have someone that you fully believe that is your match, and is not even your match, because Chris and I are completely different, but our thought process is the same in the sense of we want more. We want more for each other. We want more for ourselves. We want more for our families, and we have the same goal set in mind. So those tough questions are important to ask. All right. If a guy says you're wifey material but doesn't date you, doesn't mean they like you. I think if a guy says that you're wifey material but doesn't date you, I think maybe depending on the situation, please don't fall in the trap where you're wifey material and wants to fuck around but then doesn't want to date you. Like, no. Maybe the guy's like, oh, you're wifey material but doesn't want to date you, doesn't want to do sex things with you because right now he's in a hoe stage where he just wants to mess around and he doesn't want to mess around with you, or maybe he looks at you in a certain way. So I think it just depends on where you're at in the relationship with that guy. But I think it may mean that he likes you and he just wants to wait on you. But like I said, if he's just like, hey, you're wifey material, but I don't want to date you, but still wants to fuck around with you, then that's just a guy being a hoe. How to spice up your sex life when I've been with my hubby for 18 years. What do we do, baby? We do not do butt stuff. We do not do butt stuff. We've been together for 13 years. It'll be this May. 13 years. Been having the same pee-pee. Change it up. Do different things. I think people don't guys, being with the same person is hard because it does get comfortable and you know them, and there's no more of that like first time like sex spark, like the butterflies, like oh my god, I'm about to have sex, oh my god, he's about to touch me here, oh my god, like you're not gonna have that, right? But it's different. I think that it's important to spice things up, have sex in random places. Like I think for women, I think sometimes we become uptight because there's so many different things going in our heads. And we're thinking about cooking dinner and folding clothes and doing this and doing that. Like sometimes just let that shit go. And if your man is looking good in the kitchen, just pull his pants down in the kitchen and go to town, right? And guys too, like help your woman if she's cooking, like help her clean fast that she can like want to have sex with you. Like if you're waiting on your woman to cook your meal, to pick up your plate, to wash the dishes, take care of the kids, put the kids to sleep, boy, that the last thing that woman wants to do is go to town on you. Okay. That's the last thing I would want to do. Right. But if that man has helped me and, he's washing dishes while I'm cleaning up and we finish an hour earlier on all my chores, baby boy, I may want to do some stuff with you. But I think it's about, changing things up, wearing different lingerie. Tell him to pick lingerie for you to get it delivered and you try it on before he gets home and you have it ready. Or you pick out lingerie that you think he might like and put it on so that when he gets home, you're all dolled up and ready. Go on date nights. The other day, guys, I went to go get my hair done I went to a blowout place. And Chris and I have like different date nights. Like we go out, right? We go to dinner, we go get drinks or whatever. But once in a while, we'll do like actual date nights. Like this is like we'll set up like a reservation at a really nice restaurant, right? And those are different than just like, hey, let's go out to eat at our favorite Asian restaurant. No, like this is like we made reservations at this time because we're going to go to get our favorite steak, favorite drink, or whatever. So we set up a reservation for this omakase, right? At one of our favorite sushi restaurants. And I went to go get my hair done and I was like getting a blowout and the girls were like, oh, what are your plans today? And I'm like, oh, I have a date. And they're like, oh, you have a date? And I'm like, yeah, with my husband. And they're like, wait, you have a date with your husband? I'm like, yeah, like, but we're going to dinner. And like, I said it to multiple girls and they were all like, what? You have a date? Wait, with who? Like with your husband? Like they were not comprehending like that I was going on a date with my husband. Like they for some reason think that a date is only for someone that you just met or a boyfriend, like you're going on a date. Like, no, like if you've been with your husband for a while, go on dates. Get someone to watch the kids. Go get your hair done so you feel like you're going on a date. Like for me, I had been going through a funk and I told him, I'm like, I'm going to go get my hair done because I feel like it'll make me feel more like I'm actually getting ready for like an actual date. And I did. I felt so good. Like I got home and like my hair was all done and then I did my makeup because I wanted to do my makeup and it just felt so nice. Our date was so nice. We had a great time and like, it's important to set those things up. Like people like, I don't know, I guess assume that when you're married, you no longer have date nights. And I told him, that will always be in our routine. Kids or no kids. We have a kid Friday night. They know they're getting a babysitter and they're going to stay home and we're going to have a date night. Like it's so important to have those date nights to show your children like this is the way we are in our relationship. This is the way you should be treated in your relationship when you're older. Like I want to be that couple where my kids go, ew, mom, like, ew, dad, like you're kissing on mommy. Like, yes, like kiss upon me. Like hug up on me, like let's go on dates, let's go do things together. It's so important to do those things to spark up relationships that have been together for so long. So just doing things like that, going to sex stores together, that's always fun. We haven't done that in a while. Getting a new, toy to introduce in the bedroom is always fun. Something that you both will enjoy. Don't obviously like if he's persuading you trying to get like a fucking huge butt plug or whatever and you're not comfortable with that, then don't get that. Get things that you're a little bit more comfortable with, right? Chris and I have to meet in the middle sometimes, right? And then sometimes that toy doesn't even get touched, but at least we bought it and it makes him feel like he was included in the buying process, right? But just do things that make you feel like you guys are dating again because it does get routine, like, it does like get, I don't want to use the word boring, but like the excitement has faded. And especially if you compare yourself to like, if you have friends who are newly dating, like you start to miss that. You're watching movies and TV where they're like firstly like together and you're like, oh my God, why don't I feel that anymore? Like you're just not going to feel the same initial butterfly feeling with someone you've been with so long, but there's still so many different exciting things that you guys can do together. All right, guys, I have like more circled, but I feel like how long has the episode been? Okay, we're going to end it with this one. Best advice for those who get the Sunday blues or anxiety for a work week. And it's crazy that I got this question because I was thinking about this on Sunday because of Easter. I cannot imagine, like Sundays for me are really important in the sense that like I like to go and do things Sunday early, like brunch, right? Like Chris and I will get up or we'll go to brunch with friends. And if there's something that I want to do, we'll do it early. But my ass is at home by like 4 p.m. the latest. The latest. Especially because I feel like Sundays are so important because it sets the tone for the week that you're going to have. Especially if you're going to meal prep because, I work from home so I can make my meals every day, but some people can't. So you'll have time to meal prep. You set the tone for the week that you want to have. Like I'll go over my calendar and I already know what I'm going to do on Monday. I already know what my week looks like. I already have my work week planned. I know what kind of content I'm going to make. And it also allows me to just disconnect a little bit. And so I'll come home, the house is clean because I like to make sure it's clean before my Sundays. Or if it's not clean, I'll clean it on Sundays. It's the day I do laundry. It's my catch-up day so that on Monday I'm ready to go and I'm not anxious because, oh my God, I didn't fold laundry. I have this pile of laundry I have to do sometime this week. The house is a mess. I didn't meal prep. Like I cannot. I know once in a while a Sunday fun day is a great thing. Here in Houston, it's like a popular thing. Sunday fun day is even bigger than going out on Saturday night. But I feel like coming home late, like I was thinking of all these families from Easter. I'm like, damn, they're at the park. They're not going to get home till like 9 p.m. And they got to get the kids ready for like school the next day. And they got to get ready for work. And their house is probably not clean. And they haven't meal prep. Like I'm a person that I think ahead. I think about all those details. I want to be prepared for my work week because I know, and it doesn't always happen this way, right? I'm just saying not 80 to 90% of the time, this is the way that I would like for my weeks to start. So I like to be home on Sundays by 4 p.m. so that I'm ready, I'm prepared. Chris, like probably he like 90% of the time he's gaming on Sundays because that's when I'm like relaxing, I'm reading, I'm watching TV because my laundry is done, my house is clean, my work is already prepared for the week. I already know what I'm going to do. Like everything is checked off for me. Like, and it feels so nice to wake up on Monday knowing like okay, I'm waking up because I have my cardio set, then I'm going to get home, make breakfast, and then I'm already ready to check in with my clients. I already know like what I'm going to do. It's ... instead of, oh my God, it's Monday. Oh my God, I'm all jumbled. Am I running today? Am I doing cardio today? Am I not doing cardio? Oh my God. Like I feel like it's more at ease. So maybe I know it's tempting to go out on Sundays, but maybe pulling back here and there on some Sundays and taking Sunday as a recovery day for you will probably make your work week a lot less stressful and it'll make you feel more prepared. So anyways, guys, I had a ton. I circled like 10, but it's, I get deep into these conversations. So anyways, I hope you guys like this What Would Jazzy Do episode. Let me know what kind of segments you guys want me to talk about. I know sex is a really big one for you guys. So I want to talk about that soon, but wish me luck this weekend. I am so worried. My biggest worry about this weekend, guys, is how I'm going to hang. Okay. I am always tired. I just don't know how I'm going to hang. Like I'm going to pack my gamer or some sort of caffeine with me so I can just down caffeine. And I know that's so unhealthy, but if I don't know how I'm going to make it. Like my ass is at home by like 9 p.m. most nights and I'm in bed by like 10. I haven't gone out. Babe, we haven't gone out in a minute. Like in a minute. I think the last time we went out was my birthday in September. And we're 2 hours ahead? Oh, hell. I'm praying because I do not know how I'm going to make it through this weekend. Wish me luck, guys. But anyways, share the podcast with someone you love. Make sure you guys share it. If you guys resonated with it, send me a message. That's how we keep the podcast growing. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll catch you guys next week. Bye.